primary rivals of the Illuminati, I generally needed to understand what data they had that we didn't. There is nothing more clever than a person in a dress. And on the off chance that that is the situation, it could likewise be expressed that there's nothing more amusing than a person of color in a dress. I don't realize that no one does. They don't advance it or sell the things after they come out on the grounds that I own them. Feline Williams is one of only a handful of exceptional, uncelebrated, yet truly great individuals of the satire world who have resolutely rejected the elitist plan and stood firm on it. Now this man of respectability has gotten down on Steve Harvey for offering his spirit to get his renowned lifetime felines disclosures, have uncovered a few grievous doings of media outlets. We should dive into this most recent discussion that will take your breath away in a past stand-up cut. Re-emerging on the web, Katt Williams strongly dissed Steve Harvey for making his kinder jokester Cedric the performer wear a dress. Katt suggested that Steve had some awareness of Cedric's comedic potential, so he needed to pollute his standing by causing Cedric to do a female drama. Feline has over and over shown his abhorrence for the modern plan to feminize the picture of individuals of color. In a meeting with Dark Tree, he said it is conceivable that there is nothing more entertaining than a person in a dress, and on the off chance that that is the situation, it could likewise be expressed that there's nothing more interesting than an individual of color in a dress, unpretentiously tending to his companions for putting together their choices exclusively with respect to financial worth. He communicated that despite the fact that it was their decision to make, he could never consent to do so, regardless of how much cash offered. Everyone can't do everything. So a few of us settle on decisions. I believe it's anything but a greatest decision for others. Now you could have seen that feline isn't essential for the established press like Steve is. For those unaware of everything going on, the humorist has been working in the shadows with monster media organizations like HBO and Netflix. Yet this reality was deliberately never publicized in light of the fact that Katt is in conflict with the elites. Assuming you are considering the way in which Feline got pushed behind the stage, when the Goliaths really recognized his ability, the explanation for this predisposition was uncovered by Katt himself while giving a meeting with V103 Radio in Atlanta. He said, "I have the main two parody specials on Kickoff HBO and Funny TV. They don't advance it or sell the things after they come out in light of the fact that I own them." The whole ball of wax. Williams has forever have one or two serious misgivings of Steve's unexpected accomplishment, to the point that back in 2009, he strikingly provoked him to a duel of words at the New Year's Eve execution. The two comics co-featured. He said, "I need to apologize for what will happen," Williams said of the joint parody gig. "Yet the second that you get in front of an audience, I really want you to comprehend that that is your last time." As the ruler of satire water looks for its own level, you can't stop it, Playboy. What will be will be. So I trust you're prepared. I genuinely want to believe that you got a group of journalists. You will require around 6 or 7 of them. Yet, as you could expect, Steve addressed Jamie Foxx on Fox's satellite public broadcast days. Before the presentation, let Fox know that he wanted to pursue the more responsible option and disregard Williams' danger. Yet Feline didn't withdraw. Quick forward to the exhibition, he tossed shots at Steve for being a quitter. "If it's not too much trouble, surrender it for Steve Harvey. He's one of the most incredible we've at any point. And yet he don't need no pieces of this in no shape or structure. I don't have the foggiest idea why he got over here with this cash you all spent on these swear word tickets and discussed a woman in the crowd for 15 minutes, yet won't discuss me the manner in which I preparing to discuss his exclamation made interjection. He thinks exclamation, since he was the interjection in 1968 interjection. I'm the swear word tonight." Yet Steve played the trump card by guaranteeing he didn't have any idea who Feline was in a meeting with Fox. He said, "I've forever been cool with Feline." He said in a meeting that back in La I didn't have the foggiest idea who you was I mean. Comprehend, I didn't have the foggiest idea who he was the point at which I was on the radio, in la he wasn't, in no films or anything. And the sibling was simply not that realized he was discussing me in the clubs. And I just asked on the radio whoever Katt Williams is to call me, he called me, we fixed it. We became companions, we've been cool from that point onward. So I supposed on the off chance that you feel that feline is only envious of Harvey reconsider at some point back a reminder of Steve's reminder to his staff revealed his real nature as per assortment. A reminder that was sent from Harvey to his staff surfaced on Robert Shackle's Chicago media blog. Telling representatives not to move toward him, the reminder read, "Don't move toward me while I'm in the cosmetic seat. Except if I request to talk with you straightforwardly, either thump or utilize the doorbell, I'm looking for all the more spare energy for me over the course of the day. Stand by in no passage to address me. I disdain being trapped, if it's not too much trouble. Make an arrangement, I guarantee you. I won't engage you in the corridor. And don't endeavor to stroll with me. There will be no gatherings in my changing area, no coming by or popping in nobody. Don't come to my changing area, except if welcomed. Don't open my changing area entryway. Assuming you open my entryway hope to be eliminated, we should not fail to remember how he slighted secularism. He truly considered calling a gathering shameless. And dumb, he said, in the event that you're conversing with a man, and he lets you know he's a skeptic, you want to get together and return home. You're conversing with an individual who doesn't trust in God. What's his ethical gauge? Assuming that you're a non-believer, you're putting together your decency and profound quality. With respect to what is a skeptic, I converse with individuals constantly and who say I'm an agnostic. I don't have the foggiest idea what to tell you. To me, you're a nitwit. Fans all around the web have savaged Steve for these repulsive comments. One of them uncovered Steve Harvey believes I'm a flippant bonehead. Anything that will I do, it's genuinely basic. Steve, good and bad rises above strict convictions. Morals exist independently from ethical quality. Yet skepticism was by all accounts not the only thing he had disregarded. He has likewise had a selection of words to say regarding ladies. For what reason do men cheat? It's truly in light of the fact that there are such countless ladies out there that will cheat with them. On top of that, Steve likewise made the greatest botch of his life when he declared the champ while facilitating the Miss Universe challenge back in 2015. You see, Harvey has for quite some time been an objective of pundits, as he embraces hostile to scholarly homophobic orientation regulating and generally frightening stuff that sounds like a chronologically erroneous evangelist. When requested guidance on the most proficient method to dismiss admirers, Harvey told a lady, "You can't stop a person. Once a person is keen on you, we secure in it. Doesn't matter at all to us what you do." Returning to feline, there were bits of gossip that he had been repudiated by the business. In a meeting with Hot 97, the comic uncovers that the business hasn't renounced him. One reason why his fans think this way is on the grounds that he doesn't do plugs or sponsorships in opposition to the assessments of certain fans. Williams made sense of that. He isn't worried about being standard. He's basically more keen on doing things as he would prefer. He said, "My fans think like gracious he's been debased. Yet the fact of the matter is, in 20 years, I've never been in a business tryout in my life. Like, I never let my visit get supported. When I was poorer presently, you can't get me not on the grounds that I'm not available to be purchased. You can't get me since I'm not in the store that is different." Williams may not require standard acknowledgement, but rather at one direct standard acknowledged him. Furthermore, toward being one of the best jokesters of his time, Williams added an Emmy to his resume. He procured the early evening grant for his part in Atlanta, made by Donald Glover. Williams values the Emmy win. Yet he was evident that the Emmy importance isn't really about him. The Emmy truly didn't imply that much to me. It recently implied something to me on the grounds that on our side of the conflict coming in, we need to concur that we won't win any honors. So whenever there's a forward leap, and we do it stupendous. Williams later explains his comments on winning the Emmy. By saying for what reason did he win the Emmy, however, he won the Emmy. Since what that person was talking about is the thing they've been believing that that person should say they needed to see that person appreciate that that is the manner by which they needed to see him in a filthy spouse splendor in an old robe. And we maintained that him should apologize and say ungrieved that is what we would like one more achievement in his comic process was the arrival of his 12th stand-up exceptional. And his second with Netflix Universal Conflict eye. He gave his point of view on drop culture. He said for the time being you change a particular, decide that main influences him, and afterward you get out whatever's off base, so as an entertainer.